Mr. Toastmaster members, guests, the Model 3. Have you seen this? This came out on the 1st of April. Anybody heard of it? It's an electric car. I am really excited about this. 5 years ago I did a speech on the iPad. 6 years ago, 5 years ago, before it came out. And the iPad changed the world in computers. This is going to change the world in cars. I guarantee you. The reason, if you go onto the website at the moment, this is what you'll see. It's an autopilot car, electric car. It just came out on the 1st of April, as I said. The technical details I'm going to make simple here tonight. That's why I'm doing this speech. You were talking there, Anne, earlier on. They have done, as you can see there on the website, the Model S, the Model X. They're about €75,000. But the Model 3 is 31,000. Now, what it does, it looks fab. It looks sexy. It's got 3 colours, the red, the silver, and the white, I think it is. The guy who's the CEO for Tesla Motors is Elon Musk. PayPal, think of PayPal. Think of, this guy is an innovator. This is the new Steve Jobs of the world. I guarantee you, if you haven't seen or heard of him, you will hear of him. And he has started off, he's got 3 companies. One's Solar Systems City. The other one, that's for solar panels, batteries. Huge in America at the moment with that. And also he's got another company called Rocket X. These are rockets. This is all to do with what we call what I would call it is sustainable energy. And what that is like solar panels. In other words, we're doing all this. He's going to change the world. At the moment, he's brought out this car, and this is the real mark of an entrepreneur. I'll give you a little interview he just made there on 10 days ago with BBC. Here it is.
In 10 years' time, what will I be driving, or will I be driving at all? Will I just be pressing a button on an app? A car will drive up and take me where I want it.
You will only drive if you want to drive. It'll be like owning a car that is not self-driving in the long term. Will be like owning a horse. You would own it and you would use it for sentimental reasons, but not for daily use, really.
That's the type of thinking he has. When he was growing up, he was beaten to a pulp at 10 years of age, unconscious, over in when he lived in Africa. Then he went to Canada, his parents from Canada. Whether that's helped him to become this particular person, maybe, but he's 44 now. At 13 years of age, he was well into computers. He was able to do everything with computers at 13 years of age. So this is the car now I'm talking about. I'm going to concentrate on the car tonight, the Model 3, which just came out on the 1st of April. As you can see, when you look at it there, the 3 colours inside it, this there's a close-up of the inside of the car, and it has one big screen, and that does everything. What it mainly does, and this is why I'm going to compare it with your ordinary petrol or diesel car, is that with the electrics, we all thought, look, that's exactly what it looks inside. It fits 5 people very well. It looks cool. It'll do 345 miles with one charge. 345 kilometers with one charge. These are the things it can do, right? 345 with one charge. It'll do 0 to 60 or to 100 kilometers in 6 seconds. That is fast. That is just as, if not faster than most cars around. No gears, just accelerate and brake. 5 people fit very nicely in it. It's got this safety rating. Now, most cars have 3 to 4 stars. If you get a 5, and very few, I don't think any car in the world, this is the safest car in the world. The reason being is it's got no engine in the front. Can you hear the excitement in my voice? I mean, you're going to buy one of these at the end of this. I tell you will. Because since I watched this and got to know about this particular car, he's done no advertising on this yet. 345 people have put a deposit on this. You can reserve for 1,000. You can go on the internet and reserve for 1,000 euros. It's $35,000, but it's 31,000 euros, which is a reasonable price considering the other car, the S and the X, are 75,000 and doing basically the same what this does. It's a 5-star rating. That means, sorry, going back to that, is that in the front there's no engine. With most cars with an engine, the damage that will happen to you, the engine comes forward and you know, crushes you or whatever, you can get no matter how safe the car is. This has no engine, it's just like a Hoover. You know, the engine's so small that the impact is twice as safe as an ordinary car. It's got this autopilot safety feature. So cool. I'll go into that in detail in a minute. It'll drive for you, it'll park for you. That's just amazing, I think. And it's got a supercharge capacity. It'll supercharge in 20 minutes to half an hour on the supercharge. An ordinary charge, which your ordinary plug-in, will take about 8 hours. And that will cost €4.50 for electricity. So you can reserve this for 31,000, right? And you'll get it in 16 months' time. If you put €1,000 deposit, have a look at it. Go into the internet if you want to see it. The superchargers are going to be all over the world. This is an example of one of them in America, and he has them all over Europe. He's going to manufacture his assembly in Holland in the next 8 months or so. He's going to be making them over in California, assembling them in Holland, and he has a few of them in England already. These superchargers. What I mean, why the supercharger works is because you'll be going, say you want to travel over to France, you know that you can bring one of these cars with you, or to England, or if you're traveling from one part of the country to the other part, you know that you can get a charge. And it'll only take 20 minutes or half an hour with a supercharge, and you can have a cup of coffee at the same time. The next thing is that it has 15,000 destinations for a supercharge. This all came out on the 1st of April, that's 10 days ago. You know what I mean? So that's why I've taken pieces of it. It's all battery, right? So as he pointed out there, the we've increased our planet heat by 2.3. And that is to do with what we call emissions, right? And this is a statistic now, 63,000 deaths annually are contributed to emissions. We're cutting down on this. This is what he's doing. He's going to cut down on this, and so going back to the four parts autopilot safety features. Now this is where the technology. We'll start off with the first one. This is where technology comes in, but I'll try and explain it as best I can. The first thing it has, this is the car here, is a long-range radar. And it sees through snow. The long range is over a quarter of a mile, half a mile, which it sees through snow or fog. And it sees something ahead, so it'll slow down automatically. Even though you're doing the car will know. It'll put up on screen what's coming up if there's trouble ahead. It's got a second camera on it, which sees traffic lights, pedestrians and animals. It's an image recognition camera. So what that does, it will tell you if the lights are red, if you're going to go through, it'll stop the car, no matter what speed it is. Okay. The third thing it has, it's got a 360-degree ultrasonic sonar. It sees everything around the car, very sensitive, and detects blind spots. You know the way you're coming onto a dual carriageway sometimes, or what happened to me once, I didn't see the car coming up in the back. This will detect it, slow the car down within seconds. So that's a safety issue as well as everything else. and operates at every speed. And the fourth thing in the autopilot is that it has a navigation GPS real-time traffic. So it's got a navigation as most cars have now, but it's got the real-time traffic, so it'll tell you whether to take a turn or to do that for you. This is an example of it, how it automatically parks. You go on and press start, and it will park the car for you. Now, when you're driving normally, now I'm going to just go back to, I meant to ask any questions. I'm going to sum all this up now. Is there any particular question that anybody want to ask a question on?
Is the autopack the female version or is that the male version?
They're both together now. The balance there. They're trying to balance it out. But that updates all the time. In other words, you can update it anytime you want. Or it will update. So.
Do you have to be in the car to operate it?
Pardon?
Do you have to be in the car to operate it?
Yeah, you have to operate. You can operate from an app as well. If you're in your house, for example,
so you can send it to collect the shopping and send it.
Well, not really. No, at the moment, but it will do that. That's your plan, Mary. That's where we're going, and that's going within the next 10 years, he reckons. So that's where we're going. You know what I mean? So this is where it's going. We won't have to worry about where we're going to drive. Sorry.
Could you just explain that bit about real-time traffic again?
Well, you know the way the Google, if you go into Google at the moment even, and set your destination to Dublin, some part of Dublin, it will show you the traffic. You know how bad it'll go red lines or where there's bad traffic, and this will do that as well, but do it in more updated form. In other words, tell you what alternative routes you could take.
Yeah.
Do you ever go to do that with Google? Say you're going to a place in Dublin, it will show you the orange and red markers on it. Try it next time. Yeah, Google do that now at the moment, and it's great because it'll show you
where to avoid.
Yeah, if you think that there's going to be a